Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another session of Dragonmark Symphony here on Natural One Media. My name is Dylan, your DM, joined by my friends here as we are going to pick right back up where we left off just the other day. Once again, we are down a member. Nothing too serious to worry about. Sickness happens, but they'll be right back with us next time around. In the meantime, we're going to need to recap a little bit on what happened last, because while not a ton of events went down per se, there was a lot of information thrown about. First and foremost, our group was still in the war room, having just gone through the very strange experience of diving into Cassowary Dubois' memories, and for one of our members actually going a step further into his ancestors' memories as well. The result being that our group was able to get a little bit of additional information and sort of come to some conclusions about how exactly this whole coup, this takeover of Castle Broken Blade, may have been initiated generations ago, as opposed to being a very recent development. At this moment, the Warforged 3, a once celebrated member of the of Braylon's army, noted right hand to the king, and aid to the royal family itself, has taken over Broken Blade Castle and is keeping the royal family as well as dozens of other hostages in sort of the main throne room. So our party, along with all kinds of other individuals, many of them from the King's Citadel, have been sort of converging together to sort of work out a plan as far as how they are going to approach the situation and try to rescue the hostages. And the primary plan seems to be as such. Vron, who is one of the major members of the Citadel and a superior to Caspian Durant, is actually going to be taking a legion of soldiers and Citadel members, and is going to be approaching the castle from the southern wall to hopefully draw the Warforged's attention, for the most part, towards them, and in theory provide an opening for all of you. So that way you may sneak northward, going through the selection of buildings along the eastern side of the castle there, until you reach the northern wall itself, where it has been determined that there is some sort of a secret door or opening of some sort that was constructed into the wall ages ago, as part of a reconstruction project on the wall itself. With this in mind, it was also determined that Caspian will not be joining you for this part of the mission, as he will be aiding Vron. Yes, I know, very shocking. As he will be aiding Vron and the Legion of Soldiers on the southern side, and hopefully bringing in an additional set of troops coming from the west, where it is suspected that the Warforged originally sort of took the hostages through, and maybe the point of quickest access. So, no Caspian with you. It is just going to be the five of you on your own. The meeting was adjourned. Everybody sort of split off to prepare for what they needed to get ready to do. And you all were taken to a little room a little further down the way so that you could get in a full rest and be fully physically prepared for the mission that was to take place. As you all began to take your rest, Set actually snuck from the room and paid a visit to Nebik, who is one of the captains of the King's Wands, and was able to procure some spell scroll from him for you to use in your mission, hopefully to aid you. Upon returning back to the room, however, Set, while everybody else was asleep, came upon a very peculiar sight as he discovered a rotting deer carcass tucked safely into their bed. They then proceeded to have a very interesting and intriguing conversation with them. In addition to examining a item that they had on their person, a rectangular black box of sorts that seemed to emanate a very unique energy. One that was not fully identifiable, but seemed to have some sort of a meaning to Set. And created this sort of arcane link between not only Set, but Johannes as well, who was sleeping nearby. Seemingly confident in its connection, Set had bestowed the item away, and had said nothing further to anyone else. The conversation with the deer followed, and then was immediately followed up by Set waking from their bed, not knowing if the events that had just occurred were in fact reality or not. And so, as we return back to the game, so too do all of you. Open your eyes. Some of you slower than others. Your body's actively resisting the urge to leave such a comfortable place of slumber. But you do all slowly awake and come to your senses. The room itself is lit by a few sort of solitary candles perched on the walls in candelabras. It's a circular room. I can't remember if I mentioned that before. Circular room. So everybody is sort of visible to everybody else. And you all are now awake and conscious.
Thank God I'm awake and conscious. You know, the last time
I
was awake and unconscious, and it really was a fucking trip.
Listen, there are times. Never mind. We'll get. Tread lightly. That's all I'm saying.
That's a rabbit hole I wish to go down.
Yeah, you're all awake.
Let the man speak. Cool.
All right. Hello.
Dak is going to sit up.
Oh, so wait, did Set do his? Because Set, I remember the Set said he was gonna do shit between the hours when he wakes up and when we wake up. Did he do that last session, or was that?
That was So they were able to go sneak off and meet Nebik because they had wanted to do that. And I think originally the idea was that they were going to do that later on, and then we ended up just having them do it while everybody was asleep.
Yeah.
If there's anything else I missed,
I couldn't remember if we had not done that. I just couldn't remember if Kevin didn't get that opportunity to do that before this week. Good morning, everyone.
I guess I gotta wake up and rub his one eye.
You're gonna put on a little makeup?
Better. And then he's gonna look around and just kind of sit there. Kind of just looking as if the world wants to kick him in the stomach. And all he wants to do is lay back down. But he sits up because knowing that the minute he goes down, he will go back to sleep.
Go ahead and I'm gonna need a Constitution saving throw.
Staying awake.
It's an 11
That's a relatable con save I make every morning.
every day.
10. You feel the heaviness of your eyelids. It's like a weight. It's like somebody's placed like dumbbells over your eyes, and it is just so heavy, but you push through, you persevere. As you lift your head fully, shake yourself a little bit, you are able to fight the allure of sleep and keep yourself.
Alright, everyone. Well, let us meet up with Set. And well, we don't have much time, so it is best we get moving.
Someone say my name. I'm here. And you look down and you see that Set is sort of half out of their bed, sort of like half sitting on the bed, getting things putting on various items, tucking things away. You see sitting next to Set, there is a small little bundle of scrolls, paper scrolls, lying on the bed. If I can have all three of you make a perception check for me, this is going to be with disadvantage.
It's because I have one
All
eye.
of us make perception.
All three of you are going to make a perception check with disadvantage.
It's because I have one eye, Dylan. Really?
I will roll for
Really?
Nathaniel.
Oh god.
Wow,
They were both
okay.
terrible, so
Okay,
Oh, wow.
Nathaniel. Okay.
Yeah. Well, one was okay. The second was not.
Did anybody beat a 15?
No.
no.
Okay. All right.
Who do you think we are?
What do you think we are? I had disadvantage and I rolled a 4 on my second die. What do you want? What do you want from me?
You want to fight? I'm not crying.
So Set continues to put on the rest of their gear, tucking things away. They take one of the scrolls and they kind of tuck it into their clothing, stowed away there. And then there's another two that are sitting on the bed beside them, and they kind of turn to look to all of you and say, I talked to Nebik while everybody was resting, and I was able to get us some scrolls. These should be able to help us out. And he's gonna reach down and grab a couple of them. Yes. So I have I've got a scroll of. Let me see. This was a scroll of major image, and then the second one was a scroll of protection. That's right. Yeah, so we have a scroll of major image and a scroll of protection. These are all one-time use, so once we've used them, they're gone. But I feel like it'd be pretty helpful for us to at least.
The scroll of which?
There's a scroll of major image, and there's a scroll of protection.
Your image and protection.
How do I use those scrolls?
Sorry, what?
How do we use those scrolls?
I don't think I asked him that.
Um,
Okay, well.
I'm gonna, as the DM, I'm realizing I don't think he asked that. So now, I'm gonna have to make an intelligence check on their behalf. They rolled good. That's good. Okay,
Well, I mean,
great. Crisis averted.
so to be fair, I imagine I can give a
I
bit
feel
of an
like
answer to
Silva
that
would
as
know.
well.
Yeah, I feel like
can also
Silva would
answer
know.
this question.
Yeah, you absolutely could if you want to. Absolutely, the floor is yours.
It is not that we do not have anybody that can answer this question.
Yeah.
It is
It's
truly
It's
unfortunate.
just
so strange that there's no one in this party that does
the thing I
magic.
need to inherently the Silva answer will be we won't really include this part, but the thing I need to recall myself is the more of the part of like that, like the usage of a spell scroll, because I'm trying to like its location is perplexing me at the moment, but I know the thing about a spell scroll for the most part is mainly like essentially if you have the capacity to read the spell scroll, you know, it like will be cast at the level that it's rated at.
I can
That being said,
I can help to answer that question.
What I know it's the thing is in terms of the thing I forget is the proficiency part essentially.
Only there was someone that can tell us how to use this.
Let me double check. Let's see. So I mean, it's the. Yeah, so really anybody. So yeah, that is the case. So everybody can use it.
Yeah,
it is.
and I can.
Yes.
I'll tell you right now. So the scroll of protection. That is so that can be used by anybody. The scroll of major image, that is a 3rd level major image that's cast at. Cast as a 3rd level spell. So the DC on it is 15. And
that being said, there was obviously like a big part of it is like a number of spells will like have. I think the thing is supposed to be like there's like a failure chance, right? Like part of the functionality of like why it's better for a spellcaster sometimes to use it. Or am I making shit up?
I know for a wizard,
because I know there are scroll mishaps. That's a variant. Okay.
Yeah. So the way that these particular scrolls are going to work, because a lot of times what'll happen, especially in like 5e, is if you are reading a spell scroll and it is for a spell that is not in like your classes, like specifically your class's spell list, then it's like indecipherable. Like you can't read it really. Unless you also happen to have like the material components in addition to the scroll. And then, like I say, once you read it, it gets destroyed, regardless of if it succeeds or not. For these particular scrolls, for the sake of utility, I'm gonna say that any of you can use them. Because I don't feel that Nebek would give you scrolls that only,
by nature, the scrolls
can
can be read by anyone. It's just there's like the variant to have it be potentially failable. Was what I was saying.
Yeah. So what I'll do, because it's an ability check with your spellcasting ability to read it. And then on a failed check, it disappears from the scroll and there's no other effect. So essentially, you can fail that check, and then the result is that the spell disappears entirely; it just fades away.
Okay.
And then as far for you, since while we're on the subject, you of course are a Wizrar, and so if you wanted to attempt to copy
if
these
I wanted
spells,
to copy it, yes.
Yeah, if you wanted to copy it, same thing. You would be making an Intelligence Arcana check, and if you failed on that similar thing, the scroll would just be destroyed.
Yeah, the one thing inherently that
Magic.
yeah.
Magic.
So is protection and what?
So it's scroll of protection, and it is a scroll of major image, not minor, major.
Took a major image.
It's got a cooler word in it. It's gotta be better.
It's actually worse. It's how they get you.
Everybody knows Ursa Major is the weaker constellation. Real weak sauce.
Let's see. Trying to remember the.
Ursa Major
but
is the
yes.
hype beast of constellations.
Well, so Dak, inevitably, what all you'll need to do is read the incantations on the scroll, have what different materials are required, and as listed. I'm imagining, do either of these have any material components? I don't think
I'm gonna say for these particular scrolls, I'm gonna say no for utility's sake.
Yeah, major image.
We're gonna
doesn't
forego
anyway.
any requirements. Yeah.
Right. Well, luckily, a major image doesn't have one anyway. But yes, so if it's not listed there, and then otherwise, yes, all you need to do, Dak, is utilize the incantations in the scroll. While yes, there would be an inherent benefit of me to maybe copy one of these. I'll save that in a scenario where we get through this first. But if we do make it through this, I would potentially make use of one or both of these scrolls should they remain afterward. But otherwise, if it is needed, the question I guess is, what is the desires of us to put, or who do we think would need either scroll?
Is it some type of non-painful magic?
Yes, it should be.
Oh. Well, I think Johannes should have it.
I think I should have it.
Well, I mean, the thing about the protection scroll is that, I mean, do the scrolls describe the spells at all, or?
Yeah, I have no magic ability.
So here's because we're
otherwise
dancing
I'll make
around
the
a little
Arcana
bit.
check. So, but
we're dancing around a little bit here with some not fully RAW stuff. So the scroll of protection functions similar to the standard scroll of protection from 5e. It was stated by Nebek, though your character obviously hasn't heard this yet. But Nebek had stated to set that this scroll specifically has been engineered to also provide protection against Warforged, which were not accounted for in the initial list of creatures.
Yes. But that being said, should I roll, because it's a rare scroll, should I still roll the Arcana for how much I may know about it?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
18.
Okay. Yeah, so in reading up contents of the scroll and sort of analyzing it, you can see that this particular scroll protection it's almost by the book. It's very familiar in its wording and its composition to other spell scrolls that you've seen that are written by very professional wizards in an institutional capacity. The relegations of the spell are very concise. It is a 5-foot radius, 10-foot high cylinder, and you get 5 minutes of a barrier that essentially forms around the person who reads the scroll, and stays there for the 5-minute duration. And it moves with them, stays centered around them. In your inventory, whoever chooses to take the scroll, it will have a physical presence in your inventory as a scroll protection. If a creature, we kind of were dancing around with this last session too. If a creature attempts to step into the space of this barrier, they will not be able to. But if you move in such a way that a creature then becomes inside of the cylinder, the effect of the barrier will end. So if you initiate having that creature right within your space, then the barrier will disappear. But if they are trying to move towards you, they will not be able to go through.
Strangely makes sense.
Yeah. But there isn't like a note. There's no note on the scroll about the construct or warforged thing, or
there is, yeah.
Okay.
It's near the end. It's almost like an addendum of sorts, and it's written in a different color of ink. It's written in a different color of ink than what like most of the other the core body of the spell is. There's an addendum, and it states that this particular spell is a modified version of the protective barrier that also it is working off of the usage of trying to think how best to describe this. It's a lot went into getting this scroll to work, because they couldn't just base it off of like an extension of undead, because the whole situation of like Warforged having this sort of soul, quote unquote, or this sentience is still something that's being worked out. So it's not as simple as just like an undead is the equivalent of a zombie and it's a 1-to-1 conversion. Like they had to make multiple modifications to be able to get something that approximated it close enough, and a lot of testing had to be so this would be because of the make of Warforged. Weirdly enough, in order to make the modification work, they had to base it off of plant life. Because when you look at how Warforged physically are constructed, they often use arcane enchanted wood and plant material to sort of form the muscles and the sinew of a Warforged, in addition to its metal armor plating. So long story short, it's essentially acting as a repellent against plants, which would normally fall in like the 76 to 80 range on a roll. But it's been modified to sort of balloon Warforged into that category.
All right, so yes.
Magic.
Magic.
I would so yes. I mean, I don't know. I think Paul Johannes might be able to make some decent use of it. I think maybe really any of us can. When we've been in traditionally, when we have been in some type of scrap, if you will, generally, most of us are usually kind of up in the face and, you know, battling directly with the enemy. And this spell would generally be best for someone who keeps at a range. So Dak, I think in the end this might be best for you.
I agree. I think you should have it.
As when you use it, which I would likely really only save this when you're probably like in more grave danger. I would. When you use it, you're not really going to be moving.
Um. Okay. That's that can be done. Yes.
The struggle of the. It's not painful magic. I don't want.
Dak, go ahead and refresh your character sheet. You'll have the scroll now.
Otherwise,
Ooh.
I mean, in terms of the scroll of major image, I mean, I feel like in some ways that potentially could be useful for anyone, but I guess it's dependent on. I mean, if anything. And yeah, the inevitably it would be to create a distraction, right? So it's less important, I guess. I guess if anything, really, what's going to matter for the person who has it is if any of us have to go scout, or we just inevitably it's more going to be just to create something to allow us to either get away or change positioning. So I don't know. I guess the gravest part of impact, or gravest impact it has on who is carrying it.
Okay. Yes, Dak.
I believe that if we are to use it as a means to escape trouble, you should give it to someone who will be able to get away as fast as they can in order to use it. So that could go either to Seth or to Johannes, as I believe that they can leave a skirmish rather fast and then be able to use it.
We'll take it if you don't want it, Dak. But we need to get on with the plan.
Would that be okay, Lady Suffolk?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
why don't you? Yeah. Why don't you take it, Johannes?
I'll put my hands on the scroll and tuck it away in my rucksack.
Yes. I mean, as I mentioned to Jack, for the most part, it is just a matter of reading it.
Are you gonna add it, Dylan, or should I add it?
I'm adding it right now.
Okay, because it was a special thing, so very special and cool.
Mm-hmm.
I have to do a custom.
Remember,
'Cause
Alt
I'm a
F4.
bad DM. Okay, if you refresh your character sheet, you should see in your equipment a scroll for major image.
I do.
All right. I guess from that, then, let's make our way out so that we can head out.
Right. Okay then.
Yes.
At that, there's a knock on the door.
I'll go to I'll go to open it.
You open it and you see one of the Citadel guards is standing there with like a small little, it's almost like a little milk crate that is stacked up with a bunch of bottles of varying sizes that are all filled with like this sort of like red, like dark maroon liquid bubbling around inside of them. Captain Vrone figured you'd like some potions to have on your person before you go.
Did he say if these are...
Somebody take these. This is very heavy.
I'm gonna try to help carry.
Thank you.
Set him down. Now, are these his strongest potions? Because we're going to
I don't
battle.
know that you're ready for a strongest potion, but he did provide you with several of the good.
Don't.
Understood. So how many are there?
So, in this crate, it's just like this little wooden crate. There are... I gotta pull up my little list here. Oh, my little
There are
list.
enough, so stop complaining, Slap.
There's 2 minor healing potions.
No, there are 6
Wait, are you saying
standard
these
potions of healing.
Are you telling me this potion can only heal children? They're useless.
Useless.
There are 6 potions of healing.
Okay.
There are 2 potions of healing greater,
Oh wow.
Oh,
and there is 1 grammar do good. There is 1 superior potion of healing.
Okay.
just for the audience at home, could you repeat those numbers one more time?
Absolutely. There are 6 standard potions of healing. There are 2 greater potions of healing and 1 superior.
All right, and now for our international audience, do you want to repeat? I'm kidding.
Each of us are having how many?
No sablemos? No.
We're each
That was
having how
that was a
many?
really good start.
Mhm.
This is Francisco talking. So
How many are we
each
having?
of us, we have 6 potions of healings, 2 greater and 1 superior, which means we can all get. There are 9 total. There's 5 of us. Everybody can get 2 potions. One person can get the superior to offset the fact that they will only have 1 potion.
That's fair.
And I think frontliners should have first access to the greater potions of healing.
I'll take just the 1 superior if
Well, I was gonna say, if anything, potentially Nathaniel might need the most need for it. He is the hardiest of us, as it is.
That's
at
true.
least made appearances. He also
I
does
will-
like to. He also generally does put himself. Generally. Small. Look over towards that. Puts himself the most in danger. However, if you wish to take one of the greater ones, I would say that could work very well.
Okay, I will take one of the greater ones then.
Though potentially,
Think-
maybe
I-
Seth should have the greater ones, giving his.
Both greater? Okay.
Sorry, that one was actually not meant to be.
Oh wait, yeah. You know what? Yeah.
I know. I was making it. No, that was definitely not meant to be. a
That
character.
went over my head
I
for like
was-
1
I was
second, and I was like,
definitely
it.
I will not genuinely make fun of his death
Acting.
that much,
Acting.
but I felt like it wouldn't sell well enough if I wasn't talking in character.
Mhm.
I felt like the joke was a lot more. It would sell a lot better if I was talking as this character, but not.
Nah, man, go off. Say your truth.
That being said, so how many greater? There's 2.
2.
Then yeah, if anything, actually, maybe it should be one for each of you, Set and Johannes.
Okay. Yes, and I'll take a greater then.
And then the superior.
But that'll be Nathaniel.
Nathaniel,
Nathaniel will get the 1 superior.
and then
And
1
us
standard for
squishies
each of
get
us.
the normal healing, the normal.
Yeah.
So
If we don't have a lot of health to heal, we don't need a bigger healing potion.
and it would be, I would get 2 regular potions of healing. Selva, you will also get 2 greater potions of healing, or regular potions of healing. Forgive me. Covariant common is a bit out there for me. And then Set and Johannes will have one greater potion of healing
Greater.
and one regular.
Yes.
Got it down.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah,
we have
everybody. So everybody, the potions that you are going to be taking, go ahead and add those to your inventory. And then I just want to verify for Set and Nathaniel, since they are not here. I want to verify what potions they are getting specifically, because I know Set is getting a greater, and Nathaniel is getting a superior. Were there any other ones being sent their way, or was it just those two?
the greater and the regular potion of healing was going to Set.
Okay.
Yep.
So one
Nathaniel's
regular,
is the only one getting a
he's just getting
a
the superior. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, I already had a potion of healing. Where did
That's
that
good.
come
You'll
from?
need it.
Mhm.
Okay. There we go. Okay.
All right. Onward.
All right. You all pick out your potions that you're going to take. You grab all of your equipment, get everything ready to go. The Citadel guard kind of gives you like a little thumbs up as he grabs the crate from you and heads back down the hallway. He sort of leading you out. You follow him back up a few flights of stairs, where you see kind of a small group of people that have gathered around. Many of them are sort of trading weaponry with each other, examining their equipment, making sure everything is in top shape. It's become, you can see through kind of a nearby window that it has become much darker outside. It's now much later in the evening. And you see Deirdre standing nearby, comes up to the lot of you. Says, "You all right? Feeling nervous?"
What is nervous?
It's that thing where your stomach is full of butterflies.
There are butterflies in your stomach.
Not literally, no.
Oh. Oh. Pardon the misunderstanding.
A lot of you don't need to worry. Caspian has already gone off with the Legion to begin the offense from the southern side. With any luck, we'll be able to draw away all their attention, and you'll be able to sneak by and yes.
Will Prince Caspian be safe?
That's what I'm in charge. So yes, he'll be fine.
I suppose we have nothing to worry about.
Well, don't worry
Good
about
luck.
us, at least. Focus on your mission. It's an important one. Well, she kind of looks at the group behind her. I'd better get going. I need to get into position. Things are going to be kicking off pretty soon here. You all know where you're going, right? Yes.
Forgive me. Are there any houses actively assisting us?
The houses, and she glances. You have to understand that this operation there wasn't a lot of time. We're sort of prepping with everything that we have. That, as much as some of us would love to reach out to some of the houses for aid, there wasn't really much time to get the message out. Not to mention the possibility of said message being discovered by the Warforged. If they were to intercept that we were reaching out for a counterattack, that would spoil the surprise completely.
It's true. Our whole
But
operation.
there are a couple people amongst us with marks who have a few extra tricks up their sleeve. And I'm sure their respective houses will shower them with rewards if the plan succeeds. After all, a successful taking back of the castle like this puts their name in a pretty good light.
Is that what will happen to you?
Maybe. We'll see. I'm not particularly concerned with the titles or prestige. Eyes on the prize.
Forgive me for the interruption, but what does that mean?
It means look forward. Focus on what you need to do. Do that.
Well, this is good that there's no house involved with them.
I have to go. Take care of each other. Be safe out there.
Wish us all luck.
We will.
Please don't die.
Keep Caspian safe.
If he dies, then your bloodline shall be cursed.
True. He can do that.
Make an intimidation.
Can it be deception? Because he's not trying to be scary. He's just trying to give her the doubt that he can possibly do that.
No, I'm still
Okay,
ruling that
all
as
right, all right.
intimidation.
All right.
You're kind of putting the fear of God in, but it's very slight.
12.
12, okay. She kind of narrows her eyes at you a little bit and goes, yes, I'm sure we would all love to see that.
I put like a finger like. Push.
Good luck, everyone. Don't screw it up, please. It'd be really embarrassing if you do. And with that, she bows slightly
Really an
and
instill of
turns and
confidence.
returns back to her group. Next to you, there is an iron door leading outside. It is opened by 2 Citadel guards who kind of motion you to it.
Is our favorite 2 Citadel guards that
It is.
found us?
The female guard kind of looks at you all. There's a slight bit of admiration across her face. The other guard, the taller male, is kind of like, you can tell he's a little bit more nervous about what's going to happen, but is following along as needed. But they both motion you all to the door, and as you get to the door, you look, you see that kind of curves around the side of the building. And in the distance, you can see kind of this line, almost like a lane of sorts, of like these scattered like houses and buildings that sit alongside the eastern wall of the castle, where you'll have to kind of head in order to make your way around. The guard says to you, well, if you go straight that way, past that 7th house on the left side, you'll be at the far end of the castle, and then you just gotta turn left, and you'll see the wall right there. You can't miss it. You ready?
Look at everybody and
Just
ready as we'll
LRB.
ever be. Jinx.
Both of you roll a d4.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
E4 these nuts. Oh,
I got a 4.
Got a 3.
All right, so Silva, because of the jinx, you owe Johannes a refreshing drink the next time you're at a tavern or bar.
Yes.
Let's see if you can take that, OGL 1.1.
oh no.
Oh no. Oh no.
So, the path lays before you. If we're taking a look at Roll 20, looking at the map, we've kind of drawn out this path in the previous session. It's this sort of dark olive green that cuts in between the buildings and wraps around to the northern side of the castle. This is the route you need to take. Keeping in mind that there are expected to be several Warforged positioned amongst the many towers of the castle who are keeping an eye out. As Vron said in the previous session, this is a sneaking mission.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, this is how we are going to run it. It is a slight modification on what we did in the King's Forest. We are going to, first and foremost, roll initiative.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, I keep reading a 7 as a 1. But I got a 13.
Do you have many heart attacks every single time it happens?
Yeah, I do. I was like, imagine starting off the like the big cool mission we've been planning for weeks, and then like immediately rolling a natural 1.
Make everything bigger
Be amazing.
or harder.
What's that? A dragon? What's that doing here?
That can't be right.
Alright.
Silva, roll initiative.
Oh, sick. Starting strong. I leave when we're like giving our goodbyes. Come back to initiative. What a strong.
All right, so
All right.
if everybody can read aloud their initiative scores.
13.
17.
17 for
I
Dak.
suck. Hold on. Please tell me they're in standard order.
What?
There's no indicator on this dice whether or not it's 6 or 9. Okay, so next to the 19 is supposed to be a 9. Got it.
Yes, the confusion that usually comes from a 6 or 9. A
Nice.
69, if you will.
Okay, so the total is 13.
13. Okay. All right. Dak.
Yeah.
You are first. The way this is going to work is that I am going to have each of you go on your respective turn. You are going to make a stealth check. It is specifically a stealth check.
All right, you're gonna have to come back to me because I have to let the dog out.
You that's fine. It'll be a little bit. You're going to make a stealth check. And then depending on what your result ends up being, you will either be able to make it to the next building unseen, or you will earn a point. If the group as a whole earns 4 points total, something will happen.
Something good?
something will happen. On your turn, if you want to do something to possibly aid in your stealth, you may do so. In which case, I may elect to give you some sort of a bonus on your stealth roll, depending on what it is you want to do. But for the most part, you're going to be taking your actions. You're going to be making a stealth check, and hoping to succeed. So, Dak,
Mm-hmm.
you are first. You see before you this long expanse of buildings laid out. Stars are beginning to show in the sky. To your left, in the near distance, is a large, imposing stone wall that feels like it reaches to the upper limits of your eyes. You begin to hear commotion coming from behind you, off to the south. The sound of running, shouting. Lights begin to pop on in the castle. There's movement. Small humanoid figures launch, then come back down. The sounds of more running. The clashing of metal on metal. The siege has begun. It's time to move.
Okay. Dak got to pull out the head of disguise that he found again from underneath Seth's pillow. Doesn't know how it got there, but it is what it is. He's gonna put it onto his head, and he's going to disguise himself as a Warforged.
Okay.
Specifically, because the head of disguise remains there, it's a Warforged with a cowboy hat.
Yes. Perfect.
Yep. And it's one of the ones that was on that train. And then he's going to proceed forward.
All right. Go ahead and make your stealth check. You're going to add +2 total.
That was very close to a natural one. That is 16 plus 2, which is 18.
18. Yeah. That is a success. The rest of you watch as Dak brandishes the hat, flourish, turns into a Warforged, an image before you, for sprinting off to the first house, making their way across the field. They manage to get to the first house, seemingly without drawing any attention. Johanna, it is your turn.
Okay. So is there any concern that I notice around? Otherwise I'm just gonna try to dash as quickly as I can in the shadows.
You haven't seen any other movement of any sort outside of what seemed to be happening within the castle.
Alright, then I'm gonna just proceed. Sticking to walls and shadows, just normal
Sure.
being
Yep.
being
Go ahead
stealthy
and-
things.
Yep, go ahead and make a stealth check.
Alright. That's a nat 20 for 26.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's hot.
I haven't had a nat 20 in forever.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
I don't like how they left.
Well, I rolled a 19. So it's a damn good thing you got a nat 20.
Huh.
As
Oh
you
my
succeed.
god.
Hey, how about you pack it in?
With astonishing deftness, you shoot forward like a rocket, zigzagging your way through the grass, managing to just sort of scurry forward and meet with Dak next to the first house within seconds. Keeping to the shadows, you are virtually undetectable. At one moment you're here, the next you're there. It's immediate. You manage to sneak over without problem. We will hop over Silva for now. And we are going to go to Set. So Set is going to similarly use their stealth to sneak through. They will succeed. Set almost following in Johannes's footsteps. Similarly, sort of zigzags forward with an alarming speed and comes right in. Now it is Nathaniel's.
Please, God. In the loudest armor.
Oh god, oh man.
Nathaniel
Oh god, oh man.
is going to move much slower so as to help kind of reduce the amount of noise that he is going to make.
Oh god, oh man.
So instead of making this with disadvantage, it's going to be a flat roll for him.
Please?
Please? Please?
You all see Nathaniel sort of crouch walking, sort of crab walk style, inching his way across the field towards the first house. The slight creaking of his armor plates as he moves along. The mace attached to his belt, you notice as he's sort of creeping forward that it's beginning to loosen up and starts to fall from the belt.
Oh no.
Just as it comes undone and begins falling towards the ground, suddenly he bends down and catches it out of the air before it can hit him.
Don't do this to me, man. Don't do this to me.
Nathaniel, easy there. And he's gonna continue crab walking slowly over until he manages to join you and succeed.
God damn.
So, all of you have made it to the first building. The next stretch is much smaller, but as you look towards it, you do hear, coming from the left side, a shout, and then a large thoom, and the ground shakes slightly. Dak, we are back to you.
Hello, I'm Dak. Jack is gonna look around. And what do I do? He's going to begin casting the spell that he calls Wind, which is Gust for anybody who likes the normal names. Essentially, what he's doing, he's using the last effect of it, where you can cause a harmless sensory effect using air. He's doing that to make the sound of his footsteps go away from him.
Okay.
So the sound to be muffled. And he's taking this slow.
So, in addition to the +2 that you're getting from using your Hat of Disguise, you will also get an additional +1 to add to your stealth roll. So it's going to be a +3 bonus to your roll.
Got it.
In addition to your standard stealth.
That's going to be 17.
Okay. You execute the cantrip, and everyone hears kind of like the rustling leaves, the stomping of blades of grass, sort of, and a whooshing sound that overtakes all of it, drowning it out as you slowly creep your way forward, closing in the gap. The next, you succeed.
Nice.
Johannes, it is
Yosh.
again your turn.
Okay. I'm also gonna take a quick look around. Any flashes of lights, any sounds that I hear?
Make out a perception check.
Okay. 10. Not good.
10, outside of what you've already heard, no new additional noises
Okay.
come to you.
Then I am going to stick to the shadows again. I don't have any other. I haven't noticed anything else that would concern me. So, that's a 21.
You succeed. You are able to pass from this building to the next without issue.
My
I was
boy.
born for this. Guy playing rogue. Wow, I finally get to play stealth.
Maybe he was born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Set is going to follow. And he will succeed as well. And Nathaniel.
Nervous?
A little bit.
Nathaniel continues to crawl forward, whispering as he does so. It's a good thing I caught that mace. And as he does, he manages to step on a stray branch sitting on the ground. And with a large echoing snap, it reverberates between the houses. Everyone stiffens up. from a moment there's and then you hear
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Nathaniel freezes in place. Thinking quickly, he ducks down, curls into a ball, grabs chunks of rock and dirt from nearby him, and throws it on himself quickly. Just covers himself in like a thin layer of dirt and dust and rock, and just curls up and waits. You hear it again. And a faint, glowing aura sweeps from one of the towers and
Aliens?
waves over where Nathaniel is crouched. After
Sorry,
a
my dog's
moment,
fucking gremlin.
I know.
Hmm.
After a moment, everything is silent again, and Nathaniel, from his new position, slowly rolls, just forward tuck rolls to where you all are at. Like an armadillo, just rolls forward and joins you at the other house. Silva,
Yes.
you have 2 turns to make up.
What I miss.
So,
How much?
you are all currently making your way down the path, stealthing.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm having everyone do, we rolled initiative.
Mm-hmm.
On your turn, you're going to be making a stealth check to make it to the next point. If there is something you want to do additionally to aid in your stealth, you may request it, and then if there is a bonus that I would add to it, I will notify you as such. Otherwise, you will be making a stealth check. That will be contested against a roll I am making to see if you succeed or fail.
Well.
If the group as a whole reaches
Let me
4
see. Hold on.
failures, something will happen.
Okay.
Right now, you are at 1.
Let's see. There used to be a note about this in Fairy. So the thing I'm looking for is, and I'll have to maybe go into the actual page here. The thing was that you would the fairy. The big thing was like the fairy didn't have the specification of like they had the thing, essentially a thing where it was like you don't actually have to like use your wings. But I'm wondering did they just kind of nix that? It looks like they did in Monsters in the Multiverse. They just kind of nixed that line, that text line.
But that is what you're looking to do. You want to see if you can maybe
Well-
sort of reduce your sound by floating without the wings.
Yes, though that appears to not necessarily be a thing anymore. Because originally in the original version of it, I know it was like a part of it was like that you didn't have to have wings as a fairy, but that seems to, in the new version, that seems to have been like they seem to have just kind of cut that part out.
Yeah, gotcha. Well, okay, we can yell at Jeremy Crawford later about that, but for now, if you want to make the attempt to sort of significantly reduce the speed at which your wings flap in an attempt to be more stealthy with your flight, I will happily allow you to take a +1 to your stealth in addition to your existing stealth bonus that you have.
Sure, let's do that. So that makes it a 16.
Okay.
Okay, let's double check.
You concentrate, focus, and you allow your wings to sort of relax a little bit. And they're still flapping enough to keep you afloat, but you're allowing yourself to sort of drift a little. And you begin to kind of inch your way forward, moving across. And while it takes a little bit longer than you would like, you do manage to succeed.
Cool.
Now, for your second turn.
All right. Well, was there anything that I need to like note of that would have happened between that first turn and my second turn?
We're wibbly wobbly timey wiming right now.
Yeah.
So this is still before Nathaniel's failure on their turn.
Okay. So essentially nothing.
So as it stands currently, the coast.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I really don't have much else, but just to continue to do the same thing. No, I don't really have anything else special I can do at the moment.
It'll be the same as before. You'll still have that.
What was it? That's a 12.
Oh no.
So yeah, do I fail before Nathaniel?
Oh no.
Oh no. Uh-oh.
Hey Dylan, unrelated.
Yes.
What's your Venmo account?
I can't remember. I've used it once. I want to be very clear on that. I'm not going to give away any of my account info. I've used it literally one time. I do have a PayPal
All right.
that I use much more often because I'm an old man.
If you were to secretly find, a percentage of money in the triple digits in your PayPal account, could we overlook all of our failures for the next 5 rounds?
So here's what's stupid about what you just said, because you said a triple digit percentage. So you're telling me that you're going to give me, I don't know, let's put some hypothetical. You're going to give me 700% of whatever is currently in my account at this moment. How badly do you want to gamble with that dice right now?
I was going to give you... Wait, no, stop. Okay, continue.
Okay. I don't take break. Okay. So they rolled a natural 1.
Shit. Oh wait.
Well,
You
They did
hear
Oh.
In the distance more shouts, more sounds of combat echoing off of the castle walls. You hear a loud metallic scream cut off by a thunk. And then the ground shakes as there is another large thoom noise. Silva, you succeed and manage to make it across to the rest of we're going back to the top of the round with Dak.
Dak is gonna look back, check on everybody.
Mhm.
He's going to concentrate and place a hand on himself. And this isn't made to like lessen himself in terms of stealth or to make himself less harder to see. But it's moreover after the scare with the probe, Dak is thinking about consequences now. So he's going to place a hand on himself and focus, and he's going to cast Protection of the Mark. Which is Mage Armor. He's going to cast that. His AC will raise up to 14 now. So the 11 it was sitting at. And then he's going to continue business as usual with the wind spell as well as the Head of the Skies.
So you continue with your +3 bonus that you had before.
Okay. That's going to be a 16.
With your newly donned mage armor, feeling a little bit more protected, you dart across to the next house. You worry for a moment. It feels like it's taking you longer to get there than it should. You begin to panic until you find yourself up against the wall, breathing heavily, having managed to make it across successfully.
Oh.
Okay. Thank you.
Between Johannes and Silva, who has the higher dex?
I have
I feel like I know
18.
the answer to that.
I have 18.
Oh, you know what? To be fair, I guess to be fair, I did forget for a moment the type of wizard I'm playing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna count when you're that particular strain of wizard.
Yeah, you
Count
know
you.
what? Fair. So I had to take a moment, remember who I am, because I do in fact have a 19.
There you go. All right, so
I'm used
Silva.
to playing your garden variety style wizard or sorcerer.
Yes. So
where
Silva, that
I
means it
put
is actually your turn.
everything else that isn't the main casting stat into Constitution usually. Dexterity's my dump stat as I was casting.
All right, it's your turn.
Wait, did you say it is my turn or that's
It
my
is your
turn?
turn.
It is
I
your
heard
It's your
that's
turn.
your turn.
It's over for you. You just had to
Yeah, I
check.
heard that's your turn, so
Yeah.
I thought you were talking to someone else. I just
No.
completely misheard you.
It's over for you now.
So I mean, so inherently we haven't run into any scraps at the moment. Like we're seemingly moving as normal, so or as we
No,
were, I
jinx.
should say.
Don't jinx us, please.
That's what I meant. Like it just more it seems like I'm still doing what we were doing, so here I go again. Here I go stealthing again.
My book magic hoodie.
Okay. This one's pretty good.
Oh
The
yeah, it does
24.
look at that.
Nice.
24.
Number 24.
Number 24.
Burger King foot
lettuce.
lettuce.
Sephiroth.
God is my witness, I will put chills in this campaign. You won't know when it'll happen, but when it does.
The plus side, she is finally beginning to use Macy's toys.
Yay.
Next.
Well, not her own. That was brought with her.
Yay.
Silva,
Yes.
you make your way across undetected. Joining deck on the other side. Johannes,
Yes.
it is your turn.
All right. I'm gonna make a glance around the streets. Anything in between? Any alleyways to get to the other building?
Make another perception check.
Okay. 19.
19, absolutely. So there's not really, because of how these houses are sort of laid out, these buildings are sort of laid out from each other. It's giving cul-de-sac, like almost like your typical suburban cul-de-sac. There's not a lot of like alleyways or like smaller areas to go through. It's very much just
Get through the
buildings
houses.
buildings lined up on both sides with some space in between them, and not much else in the way of like foliage or alleyways or anything that you really hide in.
Dang. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna, as soon as I hear a noise from up above, in case there's like, explosions or clattering, like as soon as like I hear something or like see a shadow, I'm gonna dash across. So, I will make a stealth roll. 23.
Okay. You hear nothing as you sneak across with ease, making it look simple. You manage to make your way to the other side without attracting any attention to yourself. That is a success.
Sweet.
It is Set's turn.
We're in the restroom.
And Set succeeds as well. Nathaniel. Nathaniel goes prone to the ground, finding that it helped him before, and is going to army style crawl his way across the ground, making his way.
Downtown.
And he will successfully arrive with the rest of
Ooh. Oh.
From here on, it'll get a little more difficult.
Oh.
Oh.
There are now a set of maybe 6 or 7 buildings the rest of this way. You can see where the edge of the castle kind of wraps around, where you'll be cutting around, but first you still have a few more buildings to sort of weave through. The space is much larger between them here, much more open, and you are approaching a portion of the castle that is farther away from where the siege is happening, which means the likelihood that there are still Warforged positioned there is higher. Dak, it is your turn.
Dak is what is Dak going to do?
What does Dak do?
You tell me.
What does Dak do?
What does Dak do?
What does Dak do?
What does Dak do?
Dak is going to walk forward slowly in a sneaky fashion and go about the way he has for the last 2 turns.
Okay.
So base roll +3, right? Unless that something changed.
You've done the same thing 3 times now.
Don't like how you
Base
ordered that.
roll +2.
+2. Okay. So it does go down after a while.
And to be clear, this is base roll plus your stealth skill bonus
Yes.
+2.
That's going to be a 25 as I rolled a natural 20.
Let's see if I can roll high.
If you could not, that would be great.
Dak, as you walk, there is a gust of wind that appears. It's not the one that you had cast, but a natural one that sort of whips through.
Natural one.
And and you feel for a moment the cowboy hat about to leave your head. Almost carried off by the gust of wind. But you manage to grab it, hold on, keep it held in place, preventing your disguise. Succeed.
Oh.
Silva, it is your turn.
Well, I'm not in any immediate danger. So here I go again.
And make that stealth roll.
Didn't even chuck it. I just like lightly dropped it, which meant it hit the edge of the disc and just went off. 19.
As you begin to make your way across, there's a faint sound. Very intermittent, but you begin to hear. Rawr, rawr,
Oh no.
rawr. You've barely moved from the building when you notice a frog hopping in front of the path, about 7 or 8 feet ahead of you. Wow. Wow. This is it's like a honking big leopard frog. Like the type you catch at the pond, you know what I'm saying?
Voiced by Jeff Goldblum?
No.
Because I mean it was a spot on.
What, you know,
Wow.
the leopard frog, you know,
Wow.
the frog question hopping across your path when all of you hear that ghostly, sickly light passing by again swoops over the frog, which lets out a loud "Brow."
Where this
Sorry.
frog does.
Out of nowhere, almost faster than any of you can perceive, something metallic strikes from the air, grabbing the frog from where it sat, wrenching it into the air, and as soon as it appears in a blur of metallic, the whirring of blades, it's gone. And there is a patch on the ground where the frog once sat. That is a failure. And you take another point.
Dak just open mouth. In his mind, he's going, no. But he doesn't say anything out loud. Just silently screams.
Silva. You don't notice it right away, but as your breath kind of returns to normal, feel something on you, and as you look down and kind of check your person, there's a little frog on you. Just a little bit of what's left.
What do you mean? What do you mean by what's left?
Just little bits and pieces splattered across your person from
Oh, it's poor frog.
whatever's left.
No.
Or
Johannes,
Oh.
It's my turn.
your turn, buddy.
My turn. Are there any rocks or anything like just like small little things that I can see on the ground nearby me?
You are only able to make out it's like flat, grassy land in between these buildings. There is a, cobblestone path down the middle. No real pebbles. It's all very well landscaped. Save for the newly acquired patch, where there was once a clump of grass and an amphibian a moment.
Yeah. Okay. I have my cook's utensils.
You do.
I am going to take out a small piece of silverware I'm assuming I don't know exactly what would be in a cook's utensil, but I'm gonna assume like a butter knife or like a fork is gonna be in there.
I'm gonna let you go crazy with it because you're the cook here.
All right, there's gonna be a fork in there, so I'm gonna take a fork
Okay.
out. I'm going to turn around
Turn around.
and I'm gonna look across the street, and as far away from any of us that are sneaking along, I'm gonna throw this fork so that it clatters on the ground.
Yes. All right.
And as soon as it clatters, I'm gonna stealth dash to the next building.
Okay. Here's what you're gonna do. First off, you gotta make me a base strength check to see how far you.
18. I'm rolling crazy tonight.
Okay, you all are doing pretty good tonight.
It's on D&D Beyond. You can fact check it.
Let's go.
You bring your arm back, and you just heave. And you all watch as it spins through the air, the fork flying across, the glint of moonlight coming off of the silver, acting almost like a flashing beacon in the sky. It casts a wide arc as it almost lands all the way on the other side of the lane, clattering to the ground. Make your stealth check, add +2.
24. 16 plus 6 plus 2.
Math.
Math. They're using math out here. You said 24?
Yes.
Your 24 beats their 20. You succeed.
Oh my god.
Hachi mama.
The fork clatters onto the dirt, dancing a few steps into the grass. And as it does, there's a moment of silence. And as you move from across the lane, you see as a large section of the lawn lifts up like a trap door, and a thing of indeterminate size, a whir of metal and steel and razor, shoots out, snatches at the fork, rips it back underneath, and the trapdoor closes over top of it. And with a puff of dirt, there is silence. And it
Nervous?
occurs to you, as you make your way across and you look forward, that there is a long stretch of ground ahead of you. You succeed. It is now set.
Oh.
Set will succeed. Nathaniel. Nathaniel, seeing what happened on the other side of the lane, immediately gets up from off the ground. And resumes crab walking. And succeeds. Makes it all to you safe. There are one more set of buildings at the end of this lane. You are near the end of it. After which you will be able to cut a sharp left and come in close to the castle wall and be able to round the corner, hopefully undetected. The last roll. Deck, it's your turn. Make a perception check.
13.
You see ahead of you a long stretch of dirt and grass. Sticking out amongst the blades. A tiny little strip of cloth. Like the end of someone's undershirt. Just poking out of the ground.
Dak is going to see that. Think real hard as to what he wants to do. And he is going to crouch down low. He's going to stop doing the wind cantrip. And instead, he's going to cast magical vision, which is detect magic on his eyes. Be able to see if there's any magical signatures that might be in his way and avoid them.
You cast the spell. But you see nothing.
Deck proceeds forward.
Stealth check.
Is it a +1 now? $11.
You walk slowly. The ground beneath you as you walk, slightly uneven. Stay cautious. On your 7th step, 1 foot about to come off, you feel that you are on an incline, a second too late. You are pushed forward as behind you, on your hind leg, a trapdoor flips open, and the rest of you see something large and metallic with many arms rips itself up from the earth, swinging an arm around in a wide arc for anything that could possibly be in some of its other arms. It grips a bundle of clothing and an appendage of some sort, but it's too quick to see. It sweeps and then pulls itself back in, the section of ground slamming down on it. You succeeded by one.
Oh. Man. One?
Silva. Hello there. Turn. Yeah. Oh, yeah. A fine addition to my collection.
Sorry, I was muted on stream. So this thing is how long or how far away?
Dak had taken 8 steps when they triggered it. And they were just on the other side of it.
Right, but like, so they triggered it, and it was like right there.
They still hadn't taken their other foot off of the ground when it triggered from underneath them, pushing them forward. The space between you and where Dak was, maybe 6.
Okay. But that thing is, but the thing he triggered is between us. Okay. So.
Make a perception check.
Sure. Man, what do I deal with that? 12? Oh, no, sorry. 13.
In addition to the slightly inclined earth in front of you, you look at the one that you saw rise up on the other side of the keen eye. You begin to notice there. You see 6 more sort of mounds peppered throughout the end lane. You count at least 6 more trapdoors. To get where you need to go, you only need to pass over.
Well, I can pass over probably all of them, in a way, by not touching the ground. However, so these... Okay, hold on. So these doors themselves... Sorry, hold on. Yeah, so these doors are objects. And these and they are how far apart from each other? Like, this whole room is about what size?
Well, you're not in a room. You're in an open area.
Oh, well, I guess yes. But like, I guess like, what's the distance we seem to be needing to cross? I guess then.
For this final section, you're crossing about 15 feet.
Perfect. Again, as I mentioned, these doors are objects.
Mm.
And you know what? Spell only signifies an object. It'd be fairy fire.
Are you going to cast fairy?
Going to outline each of these doors with fairy fire, yes, that are within a 20-foot cube.
Do you have inspiration right now?
Yes.
Fair enough.
I got it for remembering. I got it for remembering. Matthias exists because we all forgot.
That's right. I'm too generous. Okay.
Look,
Yeah.
I was the only one going there. None of us were going
So
there.
you cast fairy fire.
Yes.
And sure enough, you're able to illuminate all of the remaining trap doors for everyone to be able to.
Oh.
Thus granting yourself and everyone going after you a +2 to your stealth.
Obviously, yeah. Similarly, I mean, obviously, I do have the benefit of kind of being able just to float.
Yes.
But I'll take the +2 anyway. I will move forward. +2 could be useful here. That's 60.
You succeed. And you are able to join Dak on the other side. Johannes,
Yes.
it is your turn.
All right, so I can see the lights.
Yes.
How far away is the closest one?
A couple feet in front of you.
I want to sidestep that.
Okay. And there's nothing like directly around me that I see or hear?
You have the building that you are next to,
Yeah.
a long stretch of plain field, and the last building you are trying ahead, about 15 feet ahead.
Okay. Is there a lantern right above me or anything like that that I could like see?
There is a singular lantern that is currently, it is on a hook right next to the front door of this building.
Okay. 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 I'm gonna reach into my magical spice pouch and pull out a couple cinnamon sticks.
My man.
Can I get these into the fire?
You're looking to light them essentially with the.
Yeah.
Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna make a survival check.
Survival. Okay. 4.
You successfully insert these cinnamon sticks into the lantern, and the speed at which they burn up is so quick that you burn your hands in the process.
Okay.
You're gonna take 2 hit points of damage.
Okay. That's
but the
fine.
lantern is now extinguished, granting you additional darkness.
Okay. Okay, I'll use the extra darkness then to try to sneak ahead to this trapdoor that's in front of me.
So Johannes will give in to the darkness, and he's going to get a +1 to his roll, in addition to the +2 that he's getting because of the fairy fire, and in addition to his standard bonus for stealth check.
Okay, so +9 in total then. 23.
Okay. You succeed. Sidestepping around the trapdoor. It's not closed fully, so you're able to just make out the faint outline of the door. You can almost feel the little bit of movement underneath as
Hmm.
but you manage to edge across the other. Seth
Sweet.
will now go. And he will succeed. The final roll belongs to Nathaniel.
Come on, buddy. Come on, Uncle.
Being granted +2 from Silva's Fairy. Which saves his life. Nathaniel slowly makes his way around the trap and joins the rest of you on the other. Not even hesitating, you break away from the lane, carving left, stopping maybe for a second to look behind you at the now empty lane. The sounds of combat far off in the distance, escalating, but simultaneously growing softer as you move. As you cut around to the north side of the castle. That is where we will end our session.
Made it through.
Ah!
Next week, having reached the north side, it is now time to infiltrate. We shall see if the group is successful. Until then, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for playing. See you next time.
Goodbye.